if truly rice water grows hair extremely long, millions of people around the world would have had hair touching the floor by now. For many years, the internet has reduced a young woman's hair to only one simple explanation. Rice water is what they use to grow their hair that long. After research, it turns out rice water isn't the main reason, and neither has it single-handedly grown anyone's hair to that length. But it was a combination of specific factors working together, which I will be sharing with you in this video, and how it can benefit us regardless of our hair type or texture. I will also take you through the actual role rice water plays in young women's hair growth. Kindly stick to the end to get all facts right. Let me first clarify where the internet get it wrong. Young women used rice water as a supportive cleanser, not a growth stimulant. And it is not just any kind of rice water. It was a clean, fermented rice water that was infused with natural local ingredients like pomelo, orange peel, tea seed, or tea seed oil. This addition wasn't to stimulate hair growth, but to gently cleanse your scalp from odor or build up debts. That mixture does not speed up hair growth from the scalp because hair growth happens inside the hair follicles, and rice water does not change that biological fact. During light fermentation, rice water contains compounds such as inositol, amino acid, and antioxidant, which support strengthening the hair shaft, improving elasticity, reducing breakage, splitting, and smoothing the cuticles, which means it helps to retain the hair length that is already grown. And the best part is they don't use it every day, neither do they leave it on overnight. Let's get this right. There is nothing wrong with using rice water. It is helpful. In fact, it is a supportive aid for young women's hair growth. But when using it, we should know it is not the main stimulant for hair growth, like the internet portrays it to be, but it supports hair retention. Now, over to other things that facilitated their extreme hair growth. Zero chemical damage. The young women do not chemically process their hair. They do not use relaxers, chemical dye, bleach, or heat style their hair from childhood to their old age. They never alter their natural hair. The truth is, heat styling and chemical treatment, if done repeatedly, makes the hair dry, crack, and even thins the hair cuticles. And when this happens, it causes hair breakage and slows hair growth. The young women avoid these forms of damage by not experimenting with those. These help their hair remain strong rather than weak. Because if hair doesn't weaken, it reduces constant breakage. But nowadays, it's impossible to completely avoid heat styling or chemical treatments. But in order to retain length, these practices must be done in moderation, not excessively. Another interesting thing that helps them retain extreme hair length is protective styling. Young women wears protective style to protect their hair. They often style their hair in low tension buns, wrap style, and even keep their hair rolled and covered. They never leave their hair loose on a daily basis. And this is because the ends of our hair is the oldest and weakest strand that is exposed every day and has survived years of washing, friction, dryness, and even sun exposure. We usually rub our hair on the pillow, which causes split, thin out, and fall out, even when hair is still growing well from the scalp. That's why it seems our hair doesn't grow longer, because as the hair is growing from the scalp, the ends are breaking at the same speed. When we wear protective style, the hand gets the chance to survive. And when it survives month after month, year after year, these quietly accumulate and retain hair length. The fact is, hair grows longer not by the speed of growth, but on how we prevent hair loss. Young women don't grow hair faster than everyone else, but they lose far less due to the methods they practice, which can be beneficial for us as well. Wearing protective style can actually save our hair from unnecessary hurdles. Here is where it gets interesting. They cut hair once in a lifetime. The young women cut their hair just once in their lifetime. This practice is their custom and culture. And it happens when they undergo our coming of age or marriage ceremony. Why does this matter for hair lengths. Monthly, our hair grows roughly around 1 to 1.5 centimeter long, but mostly some of us regularly cut or trim a few centimeter, which prevents hair from reaching extreme length. It is important to note this. Never cutting hair isn't a factor that makes hair grow faster, because growth happens naturally from the scalp. But the reason young women maintain these practices is because they're simply preventing hair loss. You're allowing their hair to accumulate length over the years. And in order to manage their hair from tangling or breaking, they combine this practice with protective styling, avoiding chemical damage to support the don't cut principle. But today, due to various odors or hair phases, it makes following this practice difficult. But minimizing the frequency of trimming your hands can help your hair retain length. One thing we should know is when we leave our hair uncut, it accumulates growth over years, allowing hair to reach an extreme length. Another key reason that help young women retain length is how gently they wash and handle their hair. Young women washed their hair with care. They didn't take it as something to rush through or aggressively scrub. They handle their hair patiently and clean their scalp gently. This really matters because when hair is soaked with water, it becomes more vulnerable or weak. And this softens the hair strands and opens the hair cuticles. If care is not taken, it can overstretch the hair and lead to breakage. To prevent this from happening, we should avoid aggressively scrubbing the scalp, detangling the hair forcefully while it's wet, or rubbing it harshly with towel in order to avoid unnecessary friction during washing and drying, which helps prevent the hair strands and support strand retention. Now, this particular one I'm about mentioning is the one that makes the hair unusually long, and it is genetic. It contributes immensely to their strong and long hair. Most young women are born with thicker individual strands of hair and a more resistant layer of cuticles, which is less prone to breaking. This means that their hair can withstand several years of washing, styling, and of environmental exposure without easily thinning or breaking out. Genetic determines how strong the hair shaft is, the level of cuticle protection of the strand, the duration it can take before hair breaks, the speed at which hair thins as we advance in age. This does not imply that their hair grows at a higher speed than everyone else. There is still a normal rate of growth. The advantage genetic offers is a solid base that makes hair retain length with ease. I have to make this clear. Genetic alone do not make hair flawless, and even genetically strong hair will ultimately break without the help of protective styling, gentle handling, and zero chemical damage. Take for example, we can view genetic as a raw material. The material can last long when it is strong and handled with care throughout the years. Though not every human has the same genetic hair structure, we all can learn one or two things from young women when it comes to growing their hair. Good genes are beneficial, but the hair actually becomes longer with regular protection. When strong genetics are combined with the same gentle habits over years, one final factor brings everything together, and that is consistency. Everything we've talked about, from not using chemical, wearing protective style, not cutting hair, washing it softly, and giving it supportive care with rice water, can only be effective on the long run with consistency. Young women do not grow hair in few months or even in a year. They keep growing hair throughout their lives. The same habits are repeated every day, like handling hair gently, avoiding harsh chemical, protecting ends, and washing hair carefully. Daily consistency helps their hair accumulate length over the years. Inconsistency slows down hair growth, but when we are consistent with caring for our hair, just like young women do every day, these can help our hair to reach impossible lengths. To sum up, Paul said, what really allows young women hair to grow so long? The accurate answer is not rice water alone, but a consistent combination of zero chemical damage, protective styling, never cut their hair, giving it supportive care with rice water, gently washing and handling of hair, strong genetic, and decades of consistency. One thing we need to know is there are no shortcuts to growing hair long. Growth can be facilitated with our patience, ability to protect our hair, and lifelong habits. Our hair grows at its own natural pace, but what really keeps the length retained is how consistent and gentle we care for our hair. And remember, consistency is the key. And that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you find this informative. Kindly click on the red subscribe button and hit the notification so you can get notified when I upload another video. Give this video a thumbs up, drop your thoughts in a comment. It will be highly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.